Thanks for popping in on us, bro. And I was gonna make sure that I give y'all it's just Kavari the Mind Plug, my YouTube channel. So I am back on that, and so I'm posting and breaking down some of our stuff on there, whatever. And yeah, so make sure to go subscribe to that, the Kavari the Mind Plug YouTube channel. And I'm just start, putting more things on there. Things that because we're gonna start pre-recording these. Right? That's what we're gonna start doing, son.
Yeah,
Start pre-recording these and shit.
yeah.
And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Start pre-recording these joints. So yeah, I think that Sufyan was talking about it. So they're going after the sister. The sister that prosecuted, first of all, y'all do know that Trump has 34 felonies, right?
Oh, you
Right?
talking about she from Atlanta, the one that went after Thug and all of them.
He is
Prosecutor?
yeah.
Yeah, she went after
I
Thug and all of them.
did she?
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
same
yeah, that's
lady.
right. That's right. Wait a minute. That's the same sister? That's
Yeah,
the same
and
sister?
yeah, the other situation she had where she hired her boyfriend and was paying him a bunch of extra money and
Right.
yeah,
So that's the sister he's going after?
yeah.
Uh so he indicted her for bank fraud?
Yes. But I knew
And
she had misused a bunch of money and gave her boyfriend a bunch of government contracts.
did
Stuff that
that
they always do, but yeah,
no, no,
just
that's what you call it. That's the light-skinned chick, felony. The one that prosecuted him in Georgia is the light skinned lady, right? That's the light-skinned lady.
I can't remember
Trump,
her name.
this lady's the AG. She's the attorney general for New York, New York, I believe, right? Attorney General for New York.
I don't know her.
And I think he just had her indicted, which see, y'all don't. Trump is a malignant narcissist, right? There's a book that was put out. I can't remember the name of it right now, but the book was put together by a bunch of clinical psychologists. Yeah, her name is Lindsay Halligan. No, U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan seeks indictment of Letitia James. Letitia James. So Letitia James is the one who I believe prosecuted Trump in that situation where he got the 34 felonies in that case, right? He got the 34 felonies. Like the dude should be under jail technically. He got 34 felonies, my nigga. I know a lot of heavy duty criminals that have court cases. I don't know anybody that has 34 felonies. He has the most felonies of any person that I've ever heard of. And he definitely has the most felonies of any person I've ever heard of that is not in prison or has not even been to prison. I don't know what this translates to in people's minds. I don't know what people think. This makes very clear that this old pasty cracker could have 34 felonies and not only not go to jail, but run for president and become president. If that doesn't tell you that this whole system is completely full of shit and you don't have the room to be like oblivious and whatever, that don't tell you in trouble. I don't know what the fuck will. I don't know what will, bro. Like, seriously. Um, how Sufyan said the same crap he tried with that Supreme Court justice. Like the dude goes, oh yeah, he definitely wanted White Flame V2.1 says he wants to indict Jasmine Crockett. Oh, no doubt. She be tearing his ass up. Ain't no doubt about that. He definitely want to go after her. You know, what up, J558633? What's happening with you? Um, this is some serious shit, man. I try to think of ways to put these kinds of very relevant events into a perspective that I believe that our people will be able to understand. But it's challenging. It's very challenging. It's very, very challenging. It's challenging to try to effectively communicate the severity of a situation when you are talking to people that you understand have a relatively limited degree of comprehension. And that's the truth. I mean, you know, you a black man in this country. I'm a black man in this country. We've been black men in this country all our lives. We've been around black people all our lives. We know what it is. We know what it is, bro. Not like we sitting here, some people from outside of our collective, and we have these perspectives on the condition of black people, whatever. We are black people. We know what it is. And by and large, and when I say this, I watch our videos after we do them, and sometimes I say things, and it's like, as much context as I try to give, I realize there's just not enough. It's not enough opportunity to address the layers of communication. So, like in an instance like now, when I'm saying in as polite a way as I possibly can that a great many of our people, especially in this day and age, and between like the ages of 19 and say 45, don't have very good comprehension. And it has a lot to do with the lack of, I guess you could say education, whatever, but it's really about a lack of literacy. It's a lack of literacy. They don't have even generally speaking, even a reasonable degree of vocabulary. It's very difficult to communicate some of these more serious subjects to people when their vocabulary consists of maybe 50 words that they basically use to communicate everything, like 50 basic words. And I'm including and, but, the, is, be, like basic, connective words in this 50 words. And as a person who has, been a student of the social sciences for 3 decades or so, it's my habit to pay attention to people when they speak, especially when I started to consider what I'm telling you now. When I started to consider that, as I began to expose myself, expand my vocabulary, and I started to consider the fact that there was so much of a limit in my own expression, my own vocabulary, and I had a relatively expanded vocabulary relative to my contemporaries. And the more I learned, the more I said, is my thinking correct? Am I thinking that the average black person that I come into contact with in my travels, moving around in the socioeconomic level of society that I did, am I thinking that they don't have enough of a vocabulary or an understanding, an awareness, an understanding of words to be able to actually tune into important things? Is that accurate, or am I mistaken? That question, that critical question, led me to the habit of paying particular attention to people when they speak, when I'm talking to them, or when they're talking to one another. I like to observe conversations uh, when other people are having conversations. Like, you know, you like y'all kicking it, whatever. They're like when we were leaving the We're All Set after that, and we were outside and we were talking, and I engage people, and then I watch them engage each other, and then I'm like, firstly, no one is really paying attention to what anybody else is saying. Not really. You can tell by two things. One, no one is really responding in any direct way to what anybody else is saying. Somebody says something, and then someone else says something that is supposed to be a retort, a response to that thing that's said, but it has no relevance to the thing that was said. It's like in a basic realm. Oh, we're talking about cats, right? Uh, I had a cat, you know, and his name was Tom. And the name Tom, I got it from my uncle. And my uncle, man, he used to drink like crazy, man. Like he used to drink so much, whatever. And like in like three sentences, we're completely away from the subject of cats, just completely. And I'm just sitting there going, well, what conversation is being had here? And everybody who knows what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about. How you can sit, and if you don't, start paying attention. You're sitting and you having conversations with people. And you're talking about two people, three, four more, you know, people. Listen to. In fact, this is something I started doing when I started asking myself that critical question of whether I am seeing what I'm seeing or not. I started writing down. I'd have a little piece of paper. I used to carry around. You remember I used to carry these around all the time?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sticky pads.
Yep. Still. Remember, we used to have like 100 sticky notes on the
All over the
mirrors
mirrors. Yep.
with words and definition, words and definition, words and definition, words and definitions. Right. So I would take my pad and these conversations and observing these conversations, and I would sit there and I would write every time somebody changed the subject, and I would write the word that the person, say person A said a word in his expression or her expression of whatever point they were making. And it was a word in that. There was a word in that. Not the subject that the person they're speaking to or somebody participating in the conversation. It wasn't the subject that the person responding was responding to. It was a single word that was said, and that word seemed to trigger something in the other person. And that word becomes the point from which that person interjects into the conversation, interjects their point into the conversation, or carries the conversation forward. But it would be the word, not the subject, just the word. And the word may just be a random word mentioned. It might just be a name. Oh, I know him. And we're not talking about him. We're talking about something else. And him, that person's name came up. And now you're changing the conversation to a conversation about him. You're not having the same conversation. I watched that happen like 20 times in the course of 5 or 6 minutes in a conversation.
I watch
Between
that
like
shit
3 or
all the
4
time.
people.
I be like, y'all niggas not even having the same conversation because you just said he like cats, and he said, "But my goldfish is wet all the time." I'm like, y'all niggas is not having the same conversation. Y'all, you just said something that don't have nothing to do with what he just said, but y'all both talking and y'all speaking, y'all saying words at each other, but it's not going nowhere. It's just going back and forth. Y'all just basically seeing who could say the most words the most.
That's basically what it is. It's like word pong. It's like ping pong, word. It's almost as though, like, on average, they're unable to have a cognizant, linear conversation. That that speaks to the condition of our collective mind. It's no different, and whenever I think about this, I'm reminded of children. If you like, when my nephews come over here, right? My brother-in-law brings his sons over here, right? Um, Two of the most beautiful little boys you ever wanted to see. One is 3, the other's 5. They stress everybody out but me, naturally. Buddy, talking to these little, and they smarter, they don't know, I don't know what, but they're kids. So we were on the trampoline. They always make me take them to the trampoline, right? We were on the trampoline, and one says um, something about, I might have said something about, like, being being strong, right? Being strong, and um, then the oldest one, the 5-year-old, says something to the effect of like strong like strong like the Hulk, right? And I said, yeah, yeah, strong like the Hulk. And he goes, yeah, because the Hulk is green. And I said, yeah, the Hulk is green. And he said, yeah, like the, and he points over to the vegetation, points over to the to the fruits and vegetables, and he goes, like that stuff, right? And I said, yeah, like that, like green, like that, right? And I remember now we started out with talking about strength, and I was really talking about strength of character. That's how I was talking about behaving himself. But it's kind of an expanded concept for a child or whatever, and the engagement and the communication is important for establishing their foundation for being able to have conversation with them. So my whole point is to try to bring him back to the original point, because I mean he's a 5-year-old, and obviously if he sees anything, it's gonna get his attention, and he's gonna become distracted and kind of forget what we're talking about, whatever, because he's 5 fucking years old. But I see that same type of inability to what I call keep the thread, keep hold of the thread in adults. And like I started to say when I initially introduced this little concept here, when I was saying, like, I don't want it to seem as though I think that this is something particular to us, to melanated people. It isn't. It isn't. This is a general thing. Remember when I shared that, like, that statistic about 56% of the public has a 6th grade or below reading level? That's everybody. That's more than half of the American public, right? It's just that, unlike other people who ain't us, there's a system that supports their mediocrity, that supports their insufficiency. That's part of the white supremacist system. They don't, that's why when they get a position somewhere, they don't have to have a tenth, or they only have to have a tenth of the qualifications and capabilities that we have in order to have the same opportunity. Because there's a system designed to protect their mediocrity. So when I hone in on our inadequacies and our shortcomings is because we are my concern. That's what I'm concerned about. So I'm not omitting the fact that white people are just as, fucked up, ignorant, incompetent, don't know how to communicate, can't keep a thread, have a limited vocabulary or limited communication ability, whatever. Absolutely. They could actually intend to have even more so of an inadequacy because they can afford it. Well, they used to be able to afford it. They can't afford it no more. The shit is caught up to them. The shit's caught up to them. That's how you get a motherfucker like this guy in office. The shit is caught up to him. That's why he said, I love the uneducated out loud on a mic in front of cameras. I love the uneducated. Who the fuck would say that? So the particular point I want to make, there's a couple, but the particular point I want to make is that I'm not picking on us when I point out these shortcomings in the way that we are socialized. I'm not doing that. I'm not mentioning it's white people too, because I don't give a fuck about that. I'm trying to sharpen our blades. That's what the fuck I care about. Sharpening our blade. Every other group that ain't us has a system to sharpen their blades and to compensate for the dull blades. So I don't have to address that or constantly, make it a point that, oh yeah, they fucked up too. They fucked up like we fucked up, but I don't have to do that. That's not necessary. What I seek to do is bring particular attention to and put potential emphasis on the fact that we need to sharpen our collective blade, because what gives them a cold gives us COVID, So the negative impacts of not having a sufficient degree of socialization or intellectual development, what they suffer from that condition is multiplied for us. The suffering from that same condition in our situation is multiplied in exponentials. It's 10 times as much. Whatever the bad is that happens for them from being insufficiently informed and involved and engaged in what's happening in the world around them and progressing forward, with whatever needs to be understood as society evolves and so forth. Whatever adverse effect that shit has on them is multiplied for us in immeasurably, bro. So that's the point that I want to make clear. I'm not picking on us, I'm not at all. Like, I'm really, really just trying to wake us up. I really am. That's the point for me anyway.